Alrighty, good evening folks. I am tbham and I'm bringing you yet another game from r/castit. Love the little community on Reddit, part of the StarCraft following that Reddit has. Users submit the replays if they want to have them cast, and people just pick them up and cast them and post them at their own will. Without any further introduction in that regard, introduce our two players here. In the bottom left corner of our map, Neoplanetus, it is Azamato. And again, it's a nice Japanese accent I got on there, right? Yeah, totally. And his opponent, the blue Zerg player, up in the top right, it is Boomzer. TVZ, super little matchup. Innovation and Maru both recently showing their prowess in the matchup, both winning their WCS Korea round of 8 matches quite handily. Maru won 3-1 and Innovation winning 3-0, especially against Sulky and, oh goodness, I can't remember who Maru played. Regardless, an opponent like Sulky is no easy feat, especially considering that Innovation actually lost to Sulky in the finals of last season and is able to take him out 3-0 in the round of 8. Huge win for him there. Even with the recent Hellbat change, people are still figuring out this matchup. It's still one of the, I think, one of the best matchups to watch. Because I'm a fan of macro games, and a lot of Terran versus her games go on large macro stages. And both players are probably going to be expanding quite early. Boomzer has his drone down here, getting ready to take his natural, and Azamato got his gas on 12, and will likely be going for just Reaper expand into some factory Hellions, reactor factory Hellions. And Boomzer comes in here, and he does see the gas, and he does see how much is on the gas, so he'll know exactly what's going to be coming at him in that regard. His natural is already started, and a pool will probably be coming down shortly, unless he wants to play... Yeah, he's going to put in the pool first. He's not going to elect to try to go for gas then pool, just for a super fast speed, but with the Reapers coming, he knows he does need some Lings and Queens out to push them away. He is still going to get this gas prior to taking his third. He's not going to try and do some sort of gasless 3-base build immediately. You will want to have speed out, be able to push away all of those Reapers that do come at him. No problem. Meanwhile, we'll see it expand soon from Azamato. Probably about another 20 seconds. This first Reaper is out, and we'll be moving across the map just to check out what Boomzer is doing. And yeah, Azamato is going to be, actually, he's going to take his CC right at his natural. Can be slightly dangerous, especially since he hasn't actually seen anything yet. If he were getting an early pool play against him, with no wall here, the CC would just have to be cancelled and rebuild up on the high ground. But he seems to be confident in his ability, and those Reapers are actually already in here and doing a good bit of harass. A lot of drones had to be pulled away. There are no Queens out. Lings are just about to pop. 2 have popped already. But this Reaper's already being annoying and already has 1 kill. Might not get another one? No, he's going to get out of there right now and make sure he survives until his second Reaper buddy joins him. The Strike Reaper's in here and he does get surrounded momentarily, but he is able to jump up on the cliff. So he does come back down. Queen already out at the natural, Queen at the main also. And speed is on the way for Boomzer. And Azamato is going straight into a third command center. Not even with a bunker yet. These Reapers are poking here again. Lings are going to chase him around a little bit. With the Queen, he should be able to push this away a bit, but again, the Reaper speed is just so fast. They can get away from that. The Queen does take down 1 Reaper, but not before 4 workers have been killed. Now 5 workers. So a nice little win there from Azamato, getting 5 workers quite early. And he's about to switch over into producing some Hellions. And expect to see a tech lab for STEM to come up quite soon. And Boomzer is starting his creature bed. He is still pulled out of gas right now, but he is getting his second gas. So you probably will be either going for an earlier Bailey Nest or maybe even a Roachhorn. Meanwhile, he is going to take his third. Has he seen this Overlord? Yeah, so the Overlord does see this third CC. And has seen the third CC the entire time he's building, so he knows it's up, and he knows he's going to be able to take this third, pretty much without any sort of contest. Rupert's going to be annoying again, takes out a creep tumor, one of the first creep tumors on the map, but these Lings do have speed now, and they will be able to push him back, and will likely get it killed. These two Hellions are going to come over here and attempt to push him back, but the Reaper does die. The Hellions do get one of the Lings killed, and could give chase. And they're going to give chase for a little bit, just to make sure that the Lings do go home. And he is up to 4 Hellions, and adding on 2 more right now. And meanwhile, both players are just kind of macro up right now. And it is indeed a Roachborn coming out for Boomer. He saw this super early CC, so he knows there's not going to be a whole lot of units out right now. In fact, there's still only 1 barracks right now for Azamato. So a lot of early Roaches could do a good deal of damage, especially if Azamato is not able to get in and see this anyway. His Reaper is dead, so he has no ability to jump up all on this and scout out his opponent's main base until he decides to scan at some point. But that scan is not going to come for a while. This orbital is mostly empty, this orbital is empty, and this one does have a scan available. These Hellions are just kind of moving around the map, trying to control everything. But given how much space and how many pathways there are for this map, it is kind of difficult to find out. And 6 Roaches are on the way, as well as Lair. The Roaches may just be to keep the Hellions from doing any damage anywhere, or he could be choosing to go for some sort of aggression. I'll have to find out in a sec. He is droning after those Roaches and adding on a Baneling Nest right here. These Hellions are going to poke in, and the Lings are trying to come up, and they're not going to scare away those Hellions. There's 6 Hellions, there's not many Lings, but as soon as these Roaches pop up, which he has not seen yet, he does see the Roaches now. I should change up his ideas a little bit. Azamato is extremely greedy. Oh goodness, he had it on double engineering bay. He's already getting +1/+1 before his second and third racks even finish. So unless Boomzer is able to punish this somehow, he is going to be in a world of trouble as far as being behind. Roach speed is actually on the way already, and that scan does come down. The money scan sees absolutely everything. It sees the layers, sees the Roachborn is researching, and sees both Evo Chambers and the Baneling Nest. So he saw absolutely every bit of his tech. And regardless of this Baneling speed coming, he is choosing to go for melee upgrades. So expect the Roaches just to be mainly just to kind of be harassing probably his front wall a little bit, but there are these Widow Mines out. There's not much that he can really do at the moment to really hurt his opponent, even though he did play so very greedy, and he's already almost at +1/+1. If he keeps these upgrades rolling, which it looks like he's going to do, that armory finishes right as +1/+1 finishes, he's going to be able to go into 2/2 very soon. And in fact, 2/2 is starting, at least +1 attack is started. And Stim is done, Combat Shield is just about done. Excuse me, Azamato is putting himself in a very nice position right now for a very late game. Widow Mine already over here, holding off, hopefully trying to hold off. And the rest of his army right now it's fairly small, really, at this point in the game. But the workers tab, that's actually kind of strange. It's only 46 workers for the Terran player. He's quite light on workers, but given how much tech he's gone for, kind of makes sense. And Boomzer looks like he's going to be moving out a little bit here, or at least he's just checking to see what's going on. These Hellions are looking around, making sure there's no hidden bases. Especially the Zerg is a slightly bit behind right now. He's going to want to try to find someone to catch up. Baneling speed is going to be finished just in a minute, so it's probably going to be a +1/+1 melee tag timing here. And these Hellions are trying to engage, but these Roaches are going to push it away, and he's actually going to be pushed all the way back. And it looks like it is going to be a huge swell of units that's going to come out now. 14 more Roaches in production as 1/1 is finishing. Right now he's got where are the Lings? There are no Lings. He has no Lings, so you can't make any Banelings right now. You just have pure Roaches, and there's a lot of Widow Mines. There's a ton of Widow Mines. And look at all these barracks that are finished. And 4 Tech Labs right now, so he's going to pump out a lot of Marauders at once. And he's going to be doing just that. 14 Lings on the way, likely 4 Banelings. It looked like he wanted to go for a timing bust, but the Hellions managed to kill a lot of his Lings, and so he just had no Banelings to use. And Azamato himself is going to push out right now and try to take some map control, more map control that he already has. Kill off some of his creep. There are a lot of units right now. And that's a lot of Roaches for having +1 melee attack and having +2 right now. And Banelings being more right in the thick of things. Roaches are going to have to do their good job, and there's nice engagement going on here with all these Widow Mines, and he is actually surrounding. That was a nice move from our Zerg player. He surrounds the Bio Army with all those mines that he knew were there. So the mines did a lot of friendly fire damage there, and these Lings and Melees are going to come in and clean things up. But he does pick up with one medevac and escape. Not much back home still. The supply is still in favor of Azamato by a decent margin. But just so much of his force just got shredded there, and a lot of it by his own doing. He has loaded up this double drop here. He's probably going to come down and try to take out this fourth, but he has already seen it. Boomzer's already seen it. And these queens that are in the main should be able to take care of what's in this drop. And the rest of his units over here are going to try to take care of this drop here, but it's just going to be content to probably bounce back and forth between here. And you know, he scans and sees what's coming at him, so he knows he's not going to be able to really drop there. But this drop is actually still going on in the main base. Those queens were not able to clean it up, and the infestation pit goes down, but not before Hive has started. So Hive did start, but he is being pulled all across the map right now. And this drop down here is going to try to take out this base, but Lings are coming in a great position from the Terran player. He's able to sit here behind all these minerals and not lose too much. And more drops are coming in. And more CCs, more drops, more CCs. That's a great way to play as a Terran. These drops are kind of getting shut down now. A lot of Spore Collars being made, in the natural at least. But it seems all these drones here are still not mining. He has killed only 6 right now. So his working count is still where it was, but he's still really low since he went so heavy on so many army units. He doesn't have much of an economy right now. And again, these drops are just pulling the Zerg player everywhere, dropping in multiple questions at once. And meanwhile, he's just content to kind of back up behind this, only using 4 medevacs really of units. This third medevac that was over here just seems to kind of have joined. These mines are still sitting here. It'll be a nice warning sign of what's coming your way if anything comes this direction. This drop over here is this queen is going to be a hero and take out the medevac with the 2 marauders in it and pick up his second kill, and actually a lot more than that. Azamato is moving out again. The burrow speed for the mines just now finished, so he's going to be able to position really well however he wants to. And again, drops coming in. Spinecrawl doing a fair bit of work, getting 2 more kills. But it's just, yeah, he does kill the third there, and Boomzer is just being pulled so far away from where he wants to be constantly. It's very difficult for him to get anything going. He still has 60 workers, but he's only really on the 3 mining bases now. But these workers are not necessarily at where they should be, and these mines do a lot of friendly fire. He's going to have to get out of here. He lost a lot of his units there to his own mines. It's kind of the danger of playing this style. If you get your units surrounded, Zerg can do that. You really have to have those mines in front of you, so you're able. These mines are going to be cheeky and come over to the third and burrow and be annoying. His overload speed is finished, so where's Overseer at? He has a lot of Overseers actually, but they're all over here. And he's morphing a lot more. And meanwhile, Terran player has taken his 4th. He's got another CC up here. And 3-3 is finished. No, not finished, sorry. It is not finished quite yet. He hasn't quite started either. Still waiting on a Hive tech decision. There is an Ultra Cavern though. So the Ultra Cavern is up. And we'll be seeing eventually 3-3 come out. But this, again, he's continuing dropping as much as he can. 2 medevacs going to each corner of the base, but as he sends those medevacs out, Boomzer is going to come in here and really take out a good chunk of workers, killing 11 workers with that, and forcing this base to lift. But there's too many mines right now for him to actually push in, and with these drops, he's going to lose a ton if he doesn't pull back. So he has to pull back. This base is almost completely uncontested. There are no armor units anywhere. They're trying to deal with this drop over here, which they're going to do, but this base is doomed to die. And with this base just now finishing, our Zerg player is effectively still stuck on 2 mining bases. He has he's only at 52 workers right now. He has lost a good deal of them and been completely unable to remake them because of these drops. And again, Terran player is just going to continue dropping everywhere he can. There is a Spire coming that's going to be trying to take care of these drops. That's kind of his big issue right now. Is he's a little too immobile, and he's unable to drop the way he wants, or unable to push away these drops as much as he wants to. Even more CCs coming in from the Terran player. He's going to be able to get rid of a lot of his SCVs for army supply rather than just all workers. And another huge army is coming out. +3 attack is just now started, and there's still no +3 armor on the way yet, though. And with ultras on the way, even though the ultras are still only at 2-2, and they don't have their own carapace yet, he's going to really need to have that 3-3 soon. But for the time being, he's in a fairly good spot. I mean, the income tab kind of really tells everything about it. Just the amount that Boomzer is unable to mine because of these drops. Even though he does have technically 3 bases up, he just doesn't have the workers anymore to mine anywhere. And Azamato is just continuing to drop, continuing to be annoying. These medevacs are kind of stuck out in the middle of nowhere, but this little hidden base here is going to get taken out. And while he takes that out, these mines are going to move in and get set up in a nice position. A couple ultras have joined his army, so he's going to have to work a little bit harder now. But for the time being, he is really in a good spot. It's going to be very, very difficult for our Zerg player to get back in this. He's going to have to find some way for these ultras to get in on the army and do a lot of damage. Mutas could come in and do a bit of damage, but there's this mine here. There are turrets in the middle line of the 3rd, not in the 4th yet. So that Mutas could potentially do a good bit of damage, though. But this base is once again not going to go down. Actually, he does manage to save that, just barely so. Terran player is losing a lot of supply right now, but he still has a 50 supply lead on his opponent. He did lose a lot of medevacs. He's still at 8 medevacs, but they're spread all around. Again, a drop coming in, doing a lot of damage. Going to pick off yet another hatchery. This queen is going to try its best to save it with transfuses, and actually does still have a chance to do it. Transfuse just ran out, and this hatch is going to fall and die. So another great pick off for the Terran player. He's going to... No, these are forfeit. These mutas are kind of what the Zerg player needed about 5 minutes ago. He's finally able to push away these drops without having to take his entire army from corner of the map to corner of the map. And another small engagement coming in, but these Marauders are just forfeit right now. Most of his army is still back home. Medevacs are kind of wandering around the map. Boomzer he's kind of put himself in a much better position than he was in, but just not having the amount of mining he would like to have. The Terran player is going to have, he's just going to continually rise in a huge bank. And Boomzer is going to try to come over here and take off a lot of workers. He's got a good chance, and he's actually going to get a lot of these meals. A lot of these meals were just dropped at this base. So that's a lot of wasted money, or a lot of wasted meals that are sitting on the map now that just died. So this base is getting pushed back. It's a nice little win from the Zerg player, but it's still a 50 supply lead for Azamato, and a huge army back home. +3 attack is finished, and still no +3 armor. That's going to be a bit of an issue. He needs to get that on the way soon. There is still 2-2 for the Zerg player. He hasn't gotten, hasn't been able to get up to the 3-3 that he'd like, or the carapace for the Ultralisks. But again, there's a huge army that's moving right now for the Terran player. He's just scanning everywhere. He wants to know exactly where his opponent's army is, and he's doing just that. He's going to try to set up in a good position as his army is rolling in. Really, Boomzer can just kind of run past this, and he does spot this landed CC at the base. Medish will likely be able to take out. No, he's just going to leave it be. He doesn't really care about that. He doesn't want to get caught in a bad position. He did make it lift, and that was enough of a win for him. This small little hit squad is going to try to come over here and take out this hatchery, but Boomzer is ready for it, and he is going to be able to push us away. And supply is getting closer and closer and closer. It's only a 30 supply deficit right now for Boomzer. With his army comp, he should do pretty well against his army. And again, making the CC lift, these mutas could take out the CC, and he does, and he actually is going to take his hatch there where his Terran player was trying to take a CC. At the very least, it'll stop him from being able to land there for a while. Another base being built up here, but Boomzer does see it with his Overlord sitting over there, and I think his army is going to try to come over there. Army does get scans. All these mines are going to burrow and actually just push him away. He doesn't want to have to engage into all those mines at once. He's going to try to abuse the fact that he has these mutas and lings and run all over the map. There's a planetary fortress here, and planetary fortresses do pretty well against lings. Not so well against mutas, though. This planetary will likely fall. It is surrounded. Azamato is trying to repair, but that lings around is going to keep him away from it a little too much. At the same time, though, Azamato is just attacking. He takes out another mining base and a ton of drones. Worker count is mostly even. There's been a lot of workers killed this game. 43 workers killed to 51 workers killed. That's a fair chunk of workers. Problem being, Terran has these nifty units called mules. This CC is going to burn down over here, though, so he's going to lose one of those mule capabilities, and he really doesn't have many bases left to mine. But this army over here is just content to try to take everything out tech-wise. He's going to be pushing in the main, but in doing so, he has a chance to lose a whole lot of his army. In fact, probably lose all of it. These mines really need to burrow before everything comes in, and the mines do burrow, and they're going to make him push back a bit. He does have to push in there at some point, otherwise he'll lose everything in his base. Mine hits do go off and take out a good chunk of things, and there's only the one ultra left, and just a ton of roaches against a lot of bio, but there's not many medevacs, and all the medevacs have no energy. So these roaches are going to clean up this entire army eventually, even though they don't even have an attack upgrade for them. A lot more lings coming away. Some more mines, medevacs, marauders coming out for the Terran player. He is dropping the mule hammer with his gold base. Income tab is extremely low right now. 30 workers to 12. Terran player is up on workers and the mules. Boomzer's economy is just hurting a lot. But army supply right now, Boomzer is... Oh, no. Sorry. Terran is still quite in the lead. It's all just over here. He doesn't really have that much. It's just unupgraded roaches and 2 lings. Isn't going to do too much, but all these SCVs are coming over at the worst possible time. They're all going to get picked off, so he's going to lose a lot more SCVs, and this CC is going to have to be canceled, but Boomzer is actually just going to GG out. He has absolutely no money here, and yeah, and Azamato has chosen not to leave the game, and he wants to make sure what's going on. He's not sure why his opponent left. I don't think he thought he won yet, but yeah, he ended up winning. There were still a lot of medevacs in the field, and he was still making slightly more money. And with the mules, it was very difficult for the Berserk player to come back. He only had his main base, which had this tiny little mineral patch, and this base over here didn't have enough minerals to actually make a hatch or anything. And with this tiny army, I suppose he probably ended up seeing this army coming at him and knew he was done for. So that's going to do it for this game. It was quite back and forth. Did workers killed? Let's check workers killed again. 59-59. They actually were even up on workers killed. That is just a whole lot of units just died throughout this game. Quite the slaughter. Very nice game from these two players. They were both Masters players, by the way. Yeah, so that'll do it for me. Once again, I am tbham. You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/tbham, on Twitter at tbhamsc, and shout out to a company I am admin for, scvrush.com. Tournaments throughout the week. Go check it out. And yeah, submit more to Castit. It's a great little community.